Well, hello, this is Jamie Oikel from runningrestaurants.com, where we bring you the tips, tools, and techniques you need to make your restaurant more profitable and successful. Today, I've got a great one question with episode for you with Andy Schwartz, CEO of Extra Chef. Here we go. All right, Andy, you're sitting with a new client, right? And they ask you for 2 or 3 tips for cutting costs. What do you say?
Yeah, so right away, because of my background in automation, I'm going to look at the amount of savings that we can get out of a restaurant or restaurant group in automating some of these manual tasks around invoice management, right? So whether you have clerks or AP people that are processing these invoices, whether you have a third-party outsourced accountant that's processing these for you, I would look at leveraging Extra Chef for a few $100s a month to process all of these invoices, get rid of the errors, save some costs internally. The second thing I would look at is around procurement. I think in the industry today, you have a lot of systems that help from an inventory and food waste perspective, but I think getting further along in that process around procurement and centralizing that procurement process, I think there's a lot of savings to be made in the restaurant. I think Extra Chef is helping you by providing you transparent data on your spend and other spend in the industry so that you can, really get down to the nickels and dimes to help save you on that procurement piece.
Listen, I want to ask you a question though, because don't be overly promotional, but talk about, your app, your feature. It's as simple as a phone takes a picture of an invoice, because you talk about automating, but without getting crystal clear. Is that as simple as what's happening? How easy is it these days with technology to do this stuff?
Yeah, and I think, so you hit on a good point. You've had, for the last 25 years, you've had back of house restaurant operating systems that have helped with things like inventory and those type of things. The largest challenge to those legacy systems is the amount of work that was needed on a daily basis to get updated data in there, right? You had to get today's pricing in there. And because that was such a manual, tedious process, you had people that either didn't have the time or resources to use that type of product, or they just procedurally couldn't put it into effect. The reason why Extra Chef is so valuable and the reason why the timing is so perfect for a product like Extra Chef is it's as simple as taking out your phone, snapping a picture of that invoice, just like you're depositing a check, and then allowing Extra Chef to work on that data for you so that you're now going into systems that are pushing you alerts versus you having to really work with the system. So I think that's the biggest difference in today, September 2018, than in the past in terms of the amount of minutia that you had to deal with to get these systems effective. With Extra Chef, you really don't have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's a big deal because time is absolutely critical for folks in the business. And I picture the desk somewhere in the back office that's just a freaking mess with papers everywhere, and then no one has time to get into that and so forth. And then, so I love that. But before we kind of wrap this one up, I want to go back and talk about the procurement stuff and the spend. What's kind of a neat example of something you found somebody negotiate on or they were surprised by the pricing had changed on an item and they caught it and they went back to their suppliers, or they found a better price and they saved some money? Any kind of interesting tips to share there?
Yeah, we've got a number of stories, right? We're doing this for over 1,000 clients, and we're seeing a lot of this. But two that come to mind, right? So one of our early customers, the Meatball Shop in Manhattan. They've got 7 locations in New York. They're just opening an 8th in DC. As soon as they implemented Extra Chef, within 30 days, they identified that the locations in New York were all ordering olive oil from the same vendor at different prices on the same day.
Right.
So, just a real quick report that they ran, saw that they were spending, 18 cents more here, 20 cents here per bottle, right? So you're talking about hundreds of dollars per location that they kind of streamlined instantly. So basically paid for Extra Chef in itself in kind of that fashion. There was another group. There was, I believe, an 18 location donut place in the Midwest that was actually paying freight and taxes to 3 vendors that they negotiated that they shouldn't have been paying tax and freight on. They went back the last 12 months and got a $48,000 check cut to them from those vendors.
There you go.
2 examples there. Third example is B&B Hospitality Group, Mario Batali and Bastianich's group up there, 22 location group. They were paying, there was a decimal point over when they were paying for Octopus. And instead of paying, $18 a pound, they were paying $180 a pound for a week and a half. And Extra Chef caught it and kind of identified. So these are just things that, you may or may not catch. You really have to throw a lot of resources to catch it if you aren't using a product like Extra Chef. So we kind of bring that to the surface.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought those examples up, and I wasn't sure what we'd find there, but you could see real quickly that sort of thing probably happens for almost every restaurant out there in the planet. Those little things, and they add up. So, all right, thanks, Andy. I appreciate that. That was Andy Schwartz, CEO of Extra Chef. You can find them on the web at extrachef.com, and that's extra with an X, so XTRA chef.com. For more great restaurant marketing, operations, service, people, and tech tips, stay tuned to us here at runningrestaurants.com. We'll see you next time.